All right, so about 8 weeks have gone by. The plant's been in the pot, it's grown, and mainly thing it has, it's got, and again, I keep stressing, you know, tops first, bottoms first, tops second.
Oh gosh, that's scary to me.
It's got a nice root ball. You can see all the little roots starting to come out around here.
Yeah.
See that? And that's your first step that is starting to really, now it's ready to go in the ground. In other words, it's got more area to take up nutrients. It's drinking with a bigger straw.
Well, let me ask you a dumb question.
Go ahead.
Just because for the dumb people. If you take that out of there and it doesn't look like that, what are you looking for? Let's have to make sure that the roots came through there. If you have a problem, then keep it in there for a while?
Yeah,
or?
if you have a problem, if you start to slip it out like this and you feel it coming apart on you,
yeah,
go ahead and leave it back in there.
And just leave it on.
Just leave it back in there. And even if it does come apart when you do this, you can go ahead and rest it back in there and kind of pack some soil back in there around it.
Don't panic at that point.
No, don't panic. Don't freak out if it comes apart.
That
that
was
happens
my
a
worry.
lot.
Yes.
No, but see, this is holding itself together nicely, and that's what I'm after. That tells me that that root ball is intact and ready to go, and it's also ready to get to a bigger space because those roots want to keep growing out.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice root ball, fella.
Thank you. All right, so now we come to planting the rose.
Right.
It's ready to go in the ground or wherever it is you want to put it. Now, first, that's your decision. Where do you want to put the plant?
Well, we want to do one of the Grayson roses in a pot on the deck.
Okay.
And then we want to do one out front.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's great because the deck is perfect because it's got lots of sunshine.
Right.
And roses love lots of sun. The more sun, the better.
Okay.
In fact, full day sun. Now, if you only get morning sun, you're going to be all right. So if the rose gets sun from the morning till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're still going to be okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
No rose likes to be planted where it's in the shade in the morning and doesn't get sun till late in the day.
Okay,
just want to clear that right up.
Things.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the more sun's the better,
sun.
but full morning sun is okay if it's shady in the afternoon.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's the thing. All right, well, if you want to put it in the pot, first thing is you need a pot. And hey, look, whoa, here it is. David Copperfield, eat your heart out. All right, so a pot size, this is important. Roses like to go deep. You want a pot that's at least about, this is probably about 18 inches deep. That's a good depth for the rose. And also, you know, it's got a nice diameter. It's got room for the roots to grow. The Grayson rose is going to get about 3 or 4 feet high. That's something to keep in mind. So it's not a very big, tall rose, and it tends to grow upright, which is a nice shape to it.
Yeah, this is already a couple of feet.
Oh yeah, it's already getting nice. It's getting ready to bloom too.
So this would be about the most you want in your pot. You don't want
This
a
would be
pot that's higher than this.
You can go with a pot that's bigger.
Oh, you can?
You don't want anything smaller than this.
Okay,
But you can go with a bigger pot. And if you go with a
bring it
bigger
up a
pot,
little bit.
you could even put herbs in around it and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay,
You can
okay.
put other plants around it.
I was talking about the height of it. If it's only 3 feet, but you can bring it up a little bit.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and plant that. Yeah, you can use a bigger pot than this, but I wouldn't go any
Right,
smaller than this.
gotcha.
So now the thing with putting it in a pot is actually the exact same thing as we did when we put it in the smaller pot to begin with. We start with some soil.
Just regular soil.
Just regular potting soil, yeah. If you want to put a little compost in there, you're certainly welcome to. In our case, Pam's horses provide all the compost I ever need.
Oh, I guess I won't touch that right.
Oh, come on, it smells like the farm.
Ah, yeah.
All right, now, then you're basically looking, what's a nice thing to do, you want the soil level of the plant itself to be right about in here on the pot. Yeah, about an inch.
Almost to the top.
Yeah, almost to the top, about an inch, inch and a half below. That allows you to water it without the water spilling over and the dirt spilling over.
Okay.
You can kind of test it by just sort of setting the pot in there without taking the plant out of the pot first. All right, and that looks about right. So Matt, I'm gonna let you do the honors.
Oh gosh.
Slip it out and just set it right in the middle there.
Be careful.
They make these roses sharp.
Yeah, they do. Tell me, you should look at my arms.
Ta-da.
Beautiful. Well done. I'll take that from
You
you.
respected the root ball.
I did.
You did. Yes,
I'm always gentle with a root ball.
Respect your root ball.
And voila.
Yeah, and that's nicely centered, which is nice.
And again, we're not going to pack this down when we put it
We're
in?
not going to pack it down, and at this point, Ramona, I'm going to hand you this. If you would then just start putting soil in, just kind of like start scooping it in around it.
Okay.
You do the same thing. You're just going to start placing it in there. And again, you can plant it, again, there's the soil level of the plant that's in the pot. You certainly want to plant it to that depth. You can even go a little bit higher even
Now
at that point.
They always talk about, I've always heard about how tough the roses are to grow and how gentle, and you gotta, you know, grind up old mice or something and pine cones.
Exactly, I know.
Combine them in a shaker with gin and then dump it in or something.
Yeah, fertilize every other Wednesday.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Wearing red underwear.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable, I know.
Now, I do agree that we should be drinking while we do it, but that's beside the point. So I'm not putting anything in here like tricky. This is just regular soil.
This is just regular potting soil. Yeah, it's just a good potting soil. And then what I'm going to do, I'm not packing it down hard. I'm just kind of pushing it down, letting the rose settle in a little bit. Again, this is what I talk about. These are garden roses. And the point you bring up about roses being fussy and they need to be pruned and all this other stuff, that's really more for roses that were grown for exhibitors or roses that were grown for the florist industry. This is just it's like an azalea. It's just a bush.
So think of it that way, you're gold.
Bingo, you got it right on the spot. You are now an expert rose grower.
Shrubs and bushes, you almost can't control them. You just
leave
don't even think about that. You
let them do their thing.
Yeah, exactly. You let it do its thing. And that's, this is not a rose that gets really big and out of hand. We did that on purpose because we know a lot of people grow them in smaller spaces. And that's it, pretty much in. And then the last thing you do is, of course, you go ahead and water it in really, really well. And as far as
watering as before,
soak it,
and then let it, forget it.
Yeah, soak it, let it dry out.
Not every day.
Yeah.
You're
No, not
determined to
necessarily.
do set it and forget.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, he is.
I can't figure out what rhymes with soak it and pretended don't. I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing either. No, I'm drawing a blank on that one too. I'm sorry. No, this is it. Yeah, and that's it. And fertilizer again. I'm going to talk about again organic type fertilizers, and that's really what I always feel works the best. It feeds them slowly over time. If you give these things too much of those liquid fertilizers, it's like drinking, Jolt Cola or something like that. It's a great energy high for a while, and then it wears off.
Okay.
You want long, sustained nutrition for the plant. Just time-release fertilizers work really well. Anything along those lines. Again, the idea is to just make it a whole lot less fussy.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's it. And you put the pot in a place with some nice sun. You can plant some herbs around it or some annuals that spill over to make a small miniature garden out of it.
Nice.
Yes.
Container gardening.
Yeah, that's one of the things they say. These kind of roses, you can actually put them in with other plants.
Wow.
It's hard to believe, but we're breaking the rules.
Oh, this is too easy, it seems.
Bingo, you got it, exactly.
It's too easy.
It's too easy, and it's just plain old common sense. So that's it in the pot. That's how we'll handle it. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the one in the ground. We'll get a few tips for that as well.
Okay.
Perfect.